You take a crew of amateur sailors who have never crewed before together through the most treacherous oceans on Earth, through the biggest challenges, and come out victorious.
So I had 44 people who were selected for me, every walk of life you can imagine, and I had to mould them into a single unit and take them around the world. So it was a huge challenge. 40% of the people who do the Clipper race had never stepped on a sailing yacht before. I had to work with 44 sets of expectations, 44 opinions on everything. Each team had exactly the same equipment to work from, the same boat. It was an identically matched fleet, so it was a great place to study what the difference was, and that difference is teamwork. My Clipper journey began 2 years before the race, and my first step on that journey was I met a previous winner of the Clipper race, and my brain was in receive mode. No, I just wanted to absorb all his wisdom, learn his secrets. And he sort of stopped me short in a very polite way, said, "Brandon, you're kind of barking up the wrong tree here. The best sailor, the person who gets the technical details right, is not going to win this race. It's the person that manages their team the best is going to win this." And in fact, the only number he gave me all night was, he said, this race is going to be 80% people skills, 20% sailing skills.
High mood equals fast speed. And
it did. The crew were on 6 hours on, 6 hours off watch system. So with no comfort whatsoever and the pressure of racing all the time. So it really is a pressure cooker environment. The strongest team, we were a really strong team, but it will rot from the inside out if we let small issues fester.
To me, when I look at culture, I describe culture as what you say and do on a daily basis. And you can have those words, but actually until you turn them into actions and do them, they don't mean anything. And you kick-started that process, didn't you?
That was the question I asked the crew when they sort of brought any suggestion to me, was, does it make the boat go faster?
I see racing yacht crews as a great team because they can collectively respond to changes in their environment. And you know, there are two things that I know you did really well in the crew, but lots of other really world-class teams do. They brief really well, and they debrief really well, and they make sure that they learn really quickly from that event and change. You had a really strong reason to empower the crew.
The key thing that won us that race was my willingness, I suppose, to delegate and share responsibility and devolve responsibility to the crew. And in fact, and I'll talk about this later, they were put to the ultimate test, a test that I could never have invented for them, but circumstances dictated that this crew were asked to sail on their own to a safe port of call without me on board. And it was an exceptional achievement. It had never been done before in any of the previous 7 Clipper races. A crew sailed themselves across an ocean. And not only had they done it, they'd done it on the longest, hardest, most difficult and most treacherous leg of the race.
Gentlemen, please help me thank Brendan Hall.